Good day, everyone. Safi here, June 6, 2025. All right, let's start with S&P 500 weekly chart. This is a weekly wrap edition of our daily analysis video. So we got a pretty nice week, and the first week of June actually just getting higher. You see that here. We have a bullish consolidation. We are staying above all the major moving averages, and also we are pretty close to this double top or even new all-time high. So this week was first week after February sell-off. Market close above 6,000 level, S&P 500, I mean. So this is very, very good bullish structure for me here. And as I said before, a super cycle is coming down the road potentially for the second half of this year. We will see lots of good potential rallies to the upside, which is going to be a nice parabolic rally or maybe epic rally to the upside for a blow off top, potentially for the multi years or even if it is not multi-decade high. So we will see how it goes, but I would say 61.54, which is going to be the top here. That's going to be the double bottom, double top. That's going to be the first target. The second target is going to be 64.56. And the third one, which is going to be feasible still this year, is going to be 68.96. That's very, very bold call, which we may see some kind of like a choppiness around, but I would say the entire rally can go all the way up above 7,000 area. So we will see how it goes, but market is just poising for a nice rally to the upside. Another thing that I just want to say is a stochastic momentum. We got into overbought condition. Potentially that's going to show us a sell-off, but I would like to see this one. This is very, very important. This is RSI trend line here. So whenever we get above a trend line or we are breaking above a trend line, this means we are kind of like a forming very nice rally to the upside. The last time we saw this is here. So this is 2022 all the way to 2023. We got kind of like a chopping round here, but after we breaking up, so we got into 2023 July top here, and we got a kind of like a multi-month correction all the way to October, and then getting back to the upside all the way to March 2024. So this is very, very nice scenario. We got kind of like we've seen this pattern is forming a lot in RSI. So for those ones who are just coming to technical analysis course, I teach them usually RSI shows us some kind of like a very, very nice indicator or indication for a potential rally. So there is no trend line here, but if you see RSI is just forming a nice series of lower highs. And this week we break above this. So we need to stay above it. We may see a pullback, but if we get to overbought condition, I would say market can have a nice rally all the way up to this area here. So that's going to be the momentum indicator trend line. And we can get back to this one later. But I would say this is a very, very nice bullish indication for the next few weeks. However, in a daily chart, we see that there is a nice three drives pattern here, bearish three drives. And this is very nice because we got these higher highs, but at the same time, the RSI or the other indicators are showing lower high. So this is RSI. We see that here's the lower high, obviously. And also MACD, the momentum is falling down. Even we go into this bearish momentum. So this means uh, we have a nice rally in price action or candlesticks price pattern actually showing up a higher high, higher low. At the same time, momentum is not there yet. So there are two scenarios that we can see. We can see some kind of like this is chopping around here for a couple days or even couple weeks, and then momentum is picking up again to the upside, or we are going to see a downtick as a correction to here or even here lower, but getting back to the upside for a nice rally to the upside. Ultimately, we are going to go higher, but the question is, we're going to see chopping around here for a consolidation, or we're going to see a corrective move, then get it back to the upside. Either case, I'm bullish. I'm not shorting the market. I'm just waiting for buy the dip scenario. So you see that after 2 days, kind of like a correction, very, very small correction. Buyers came back today, nicely getting back to the upside. because NFP number actually was not that bad. So I was warning 2 days ago, remember, about the ADP, like a job market is kind of like a shaking out. Everyone kind of like hesitating, but NFP just came up with kind of like a very neutral number, and it was not that bad. So everyone just getting again optimist about the stock market, about the future of the market, which I'm not optimist about the future, especially for the next 12 to 18 months. But right now we have time, so we don't need to worry about that one yet. Moving on to Nasdaq. Let me just bring the Nasdaq chart here. All right, here is the Nasdaq chart, weekly chart here. So you see that we kind of like broke above this consolidation last week. This week we got confirmation. We are pretty close to this double top. Maybe next week or next few weeks we get into new all-time high. So Nasdaq is leading this upside move. Obviously, that's going to be a good news for the market because we want to see technology is leading this rather than the other names. The same pattern here for Nasdaq as well as I show you for S&P 500. We got higher high in price, candlestick price, but we got kind of like a losing momentum in MACD, in RSI, and even stochastic. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a very bad signal for the market. We may see some kind of like a corrective move. And when market is getting higher and higher, we are going to just bring our correction target to the higher price. This makes sense. So we are not going to sticking to our kind of like a previous analysis. We are just waiting for that one. Still looking for Nasdaq for 23,000 to 24,000 down the road. Potentially in a summer rally, we will see this happens. All right, moving on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones is the same. So we got a nice consolidation, breaking above this weekly candle this week. And we got kind of like close above all the major moving averages, which is very, very bullish scenario for the Dow as well. So I believe that market slightly getting into kind of like a risk off, and we are just getting into risk on, and we are just getting into some kind of like a stocks got attention from lots of people just because they are saying potentially recession is not going to happen this year. And you see that technology is leading, and still, I would say heavy value names or defensive value names are kind of like lagging, which is still good. This means people like to see growth stocks are heading higher rather than parking their money into value names. Still, we got this a nice reverse head and shoulder here. Here's the neckline. We got nice positive momentum today. So if we get above this neckline, the next area is going to be this supply area, which is going to be this 43,000 to 44,000. So we may see another potential 1,000 level hike in Dow Jones for the next few weeks to get to the next resistance. Moving on to gold. Gold is kind of like going back test today as completing, I would say, this kind of like a breaking through this neckline, and we backing test here. So we will see if gold is getting back to the upside. That would be pretty nice, kind of like a technical setup. I would say gold is forming for a long position, and we may see some kind of like a rally to the upside. This can happen very soon, potentially next week. However, today dollar just got stronger and bond yield heading higher today due to NFP numbers. So that's why gold was under pressure today. Silver at the same time, just showing leadership in the precious metals here. This is silver weekly chart. So we got kind of like after I would say, yeah, multi months or even year, 2 years right now, we're just consolidating this area. We got this approval. Today we break above this $35 easily. As I said, silver is going to be very boring, but when it starts to move, you're going to be late to catching up with it just because it moves very fast. So look at this parabolic rally here, COVID crash, and then going all the way up in a couple months. You see that silver from $12 all the way going up to $30, $28 area. So you see that silver just got kind of like a doubled, even more than doubled price in a couple months. And you just are waiting for a pullback, but pullback never happened because when it starts moving higher, it doesn't have like a big drop or pullback between it, just going straight up. So I would say this is one of those momentum starting here, and silver can go all the way to $40 to $44. This is my target, actually, first target here. Moving on to crude. Crude forming very nice bullish consolidation as well. Today we got close above a 64 and 64.90, 65. So we are very close to this 66 area. If we get daily close above 66, I would say crude is kind of like on its way to get to 72 to 75. I see the geopolitical tensions again escalating, especially when you see China and US. They will have negotiation. They just announced it today that June 9. But at the same time, in Middle East area, I don't think we're going to see kind of like a reconciliation between Iran and US. I would say everything is getting darker and darker, especially you see that President Trump is not successful in Russia, Ukraine, he's not successful in Iran, he's not successful in Gaza, Israel. So you see that all the geopolitical tensions he was promising just before election, he said he's gonna resolve everything within a week or even month. But you see that after 4 months right now, after 6 months after election, even 7 months after election, there is no success in any geopolitical tensions just because it's not that easy. So it's not easy fix. It's not gonna be happening overnight. So everyone needs to be patient with those ones. Crude is gonna be beneficiary of those geopolitical tensions, and we can see that this crude can go all the way up to 72, still within this downtrend, but from 65, 62 to 72, that's gonna be a lot of movement for crude. Moving on to individual names, starting with Bitcoin. Bitcoin yesterday triggered the head and shoulder pattern. It goes all the way down actually to my first target. So this is the first target. Still today we got kind of like a back test. I don't know, yesterday was kind of like a complete done, or we're going to see another potential drop to this 95, 96,000 area for a next buying opportunity, because I believe that crypto is going to surging higher, a lot higher this year, but not now. It's kind of like having its move. We are just looking for a correction, potentially choppiness here. Ethereum is the same. So if you see Ethereum, we got kind of a drop like Bitcoin today, but you see that Ethereum is forming just a base today, just a small dead cat bounce. I would say this is going to be drop-based drop for a final correction to the upside. So waiting for that one. Moving on to bond yield surging higher due to NFP number. It's just forming a very nice, I would say, this pattern getting more bullish rather than bearish. So it's kind of like chopping around here, but you see that here is the reverse head and shoulder. This is a double head, and also here's the neckline. So if we get above this 410, I would say bond yield can easily go to 4.3, 4.40, and even higher to this trend line. So we'll see how it goes, which is not going to be favorable for I would say Scott Bessent, which is a Treasury Minister, and the other politicians in White House. Moving on to the TLT bond, just getting down, inverse correlation with bond yield. It is under pressure, but I would say still looking for more upside down the road. Not potentially this year, but you will see that when we are getting closer to the end of the year, bond is going to be favorable for lots of people. VIX down today, 1677 weekly close. This means we are going to go down potentially for 12 to 15 area down the road. So we will see how it goes for the next few weeks. Dixie getting back up, still below 100. This is kind of like a dead cat bounce. We may see some kind of like a 101 or 102, but after that, we can see a sharp decline to the downside. Apple close weekly above 200, which is not bad, still lagging. Microsoft actually at the same time going higher. We will get to that one. Amazon nicely surged to the upside. Amazon actually is forming very bullish pattern here. I see that. So 220 potentially is coming down the road. That's going to be very, very quick. And we may see some kind of like a bullish structure event again to 225. Not sure about that for short term. Meta nicely surging higher at 695. So Meta, we were waiting for 600, never give us chance, and just searching higher and higher. pretty close to 700 area. Microsoft, new all-time high today, 470. So remember, we were talking about this demand area. For Microsoft, actually, there was here and also down here. So we bought here, 370, and also we bought here or batch around this area, I would say 347 or 357, I bought it. And look at that. So we are at 470 today. And nicely, we are in profit. Not the average price though, but we buy the dip here when everyone just hating this stock. So you see that Microsoft just like a rubber band spiking higher. This is overstretched. This is overbought, but overbought can be more overbought. So don't bet on that one. Even if it goes to corrective move, it's going to be a good buying opportunity. Google, the same pattern here. We just got a nice rally today. 173, 180 to 184 still on my book. Netflix just heading back down today after hitting the all-time high yesterday. Tesla, after yesterday drop, goes all the way down to this area, which is this nice demand area. So remember, we were talking about this head and shoulder here. And also I put a video yesterday specifically on Tesla. If you haven't watched that, make sure watch that video because there's lots of information about it. We told you guys it's gonna be a good buying opportunity. So it's don't panic, don't sell it just because of those fights between Elon and Trump. So it's gonna be resolved, and I believe that Tesla correction is done. Still looking for 400 Tesla this year. So even if you don't buy it, even if you don't have it, so 296 to 400, it's going to be more than 30%. So I would say, yes, this is buy. Moving on to semiconductor index, SMH goes higher than getting down today. Not a bad price action though. So you see that stocks the same here, challenging this trend line here. In case of breakout, we can go to 240, 242. NVIDIA also closed positive and negative today. It was kind of like a chopping around here. AMD just positive today as well, 116. It's consolidating here. 130 to 140, I believe it's coming down the road potentially in July. Taiwan Semiconductor going higher today. Texas Instrument going higher today as well. It's a nice gap up today. And Lam Research just getting higher high, $86 Lam Research. So if we get above 90, I would say 100 is coming very, very shortly. So still looking for this gap to fill and close. Moving on to financials, XLF, actually they were header for the Dow. So XLF just nicely getting back up. KBE the same here. We just got a nice pattern here. KRE the same here, just shooting up. 58. And JP Morgan nicely higher as well. So it goes higher. 265 for JP Morgan. Nice bullish consolidation. Goldman Sachs 614 up. And Bank of America nicely getting higher, $44, $44.99 after hours. Wells Fargo just getting higher today, $76. And also GDX just getting back to the downside. Gold miners actually rolling over. There is a huge divergence between these two tops. I would say this can go lower, and we'll see. Potentially that's going to be another buying opportunity. GDXJ, the same pattern here. And AEM forming a double top here. I would say gold miners are forming very, very sharp decline today, and it's just forming a correction double top. Newmont showing a lower double top here, which is M pattern. And all of them, even if you see like a double top with a divergence or even double top M pattern, symmetrical double top. Moving on to XLE, still above this neckline. As long as it is above neckline, we can give it benefit of doubt. 83, just getting back to the upside. And Chevron and Exxon, this chart, Exxon, just getting back to the upside. This is pretty neat, and we need to see more and more and more because we want to see if this one waking up. First, 105 needs to be closed, and then 113 could be a possibility. Chevron, the same here, just getting back to the upside, 140. 140 is very, very huge number there. So if it goes above 140, 142, then we can see 144, and then 152 is coming down the road. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel. Have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.